I'm at the home today of one of martial arts' most impressive experts. With over 25 years' experience, numerous titles to his name, and appearances in over 50 feature films, Dean Williams is one of the UK's most experienced and prolific martial arts experts. Hi Dean, it's absolutely lovely to have you with us.
Thank you.
Can I ask, how did you actually first get into martial arts?
Martial arts I've always done since a very young age, since my dad used to take me to a local karate centre. It's something I always wanted to do, mainly from watching movies, seeing the Bruce Lee, the Jackie Chan, the Van Damme movies, and that sort of inspired me to do it, and the rest is history.
Wow. And can I ask you, what's been your sort of proudest achievement so far in your career?
I think from my martial arts career, proud moments would be things like achieving a black belt. Back in '99 I won a British title for kickboxing. 2003 I competed over in Austria, I was team captain, but more working on the coaching side. If someone had to say, what has martial arts done for you? I think it is the giving back and seeing children achieve things that they wouldn't have done when you see them first walk through the door.
What advice would you give to anybody who wanted to follow in your footsteps?
I think the best thing to do is actually do it. I always think it's better to do something than do nothing, than just sit at home. We're in a culture at the moment where it's Xbox and PlayStation. Get up, get out there, start doing it, start training. If it's not for you, at least you've tried it. There is lots of different types of martial arts. People often say to me, what's the best martial art? And I'll often say, well, they're all good because you're doing something, and it's all down to the instructor. It's like your favourite subject at school if you don't get along with the teacher. So if you get along with the martial arts instructor, the sky's the limit.
Definitely. How did you actually move as well into films?
Back in 2003, I was quite prevalent on the martial arts circuit doing tournaments, and a friend of mine was working on a film, and he was getting in touch with martial artists that were sort of the cream of the crop at the time, and he invited me to come down and do a little bit of a shoot. And then from there, a couple of weeks later, the sound engineer phoned me up and said, we were working a few weeks ago, would you be interested in coming doing this project? And it just snowballed from there, and it got networking with different people.
Of course. Who's the best person you've worked with?
I've worked with some nice people and some talented people as well. It's a funny industry, the film industry. It's a cliquey industry, but also people that you see on screen can be totally different.
Maybe you can tell us something about Benedict Cumberbatch.
I had a little bit of a fight scene with him. Very good actor, even though this was back before he really made it. But you could tell, he had that little bit of an X factor. He was a good actor.
I know you're a family man as well. How do you actually manage to fit both in?
Well, it's good job my other half isn't here, because she would say that I don't really cope that well. But I spin a lot of plates. I teach martial arts full time, and I coincide that with doing TV and film work. It's difficult, but I've got to a sort of a level now where not only can I be a bit more selective on what jobs I take, but also I've trained up people that can run and cover my classes for me if I need to go off to London or wherever to do a week shoot or something. So.
And I know that you are, of course, a martial arts expert, but can I ask, what is your biggest fear?
I think, if anything, my fear is for other people to get hurt. I don't really that mind throwing myself a little bit and maybe taking a hit if it looks good on camera. Yeah. But my fear a little bit is sometimes that, if I'm working with maybe an actor or an actress that hasn't got that much martial arts experience, even though they've probably told the casting director that, yeah, I've done lots of this and lots of that. When you actually get to set and it doesn't really work, you can sort of pick that up after a bit of time. There's a lot of stunt guys that will just throw themselves and be, and I think in my early days, I used to really think I was invincible and just throw myself and doing this and that. But then I've I suppose I've got a bit older, I've realised that health and safety, is key. And, if anything happens on set, then that will delay the whole process. So it's better to make things nice and safe.
Well, thanks so much for joining me today, Dean. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I wish you all the best with your future endeavours.
Thank you, and yourself.
That's all from today's Sports Extra. But I'll be back with you next week with the legendary swimmer, Rebecca Adlington. See you then.